Year 1, $50,000. Year 2, $92,000. Year 3, $152,000. Same creative skills, same hours in the day, no viral moment, no overnight success story, just Riley, a brand strategist who figured out something that most creative entrepreneurs spend an entire career missing. When you stop thinking in projects and start thinking in systems, the math stops being linear and it starts being exponential. Welcome back to Empower Art, Time, and Money, and to part 4 of 5 ways to make money from work you've already created. Let's do a quick recap of the journey so far, because where we're going in this episode only makes full sense when you see the whole picture. In part 1, Maya taught us that creative archives are gold mines. 3 years of wedding photography, over 1,300 images seen by almost no one, became $2,000 in new revenue in 6 months, and $300 to $500 in passive monthly income with minimal ongoing effort. The lesson? Finished doesn't mean done. In part 2, Alex showed us that even client work that legally belongs to someone else, has a foundational layer that still belongs to you. Design patterns, textures, structural approaches, creative logic. By separating and systematizing that layer, Alex built an entire product empire from assets that would otherwise have been permanently archived. The lesson: know what you own, then build from it. In part 3, Sam proved that the most valuable asset hiding inside your client work isn't visual or structural. It's invisible. It's the expertise, the frameworks, the industry knowledge you've been quietly accumulating project by project and never once thought to package. By turning that expertise into courses, templates, group programs, and micro consultations, Sam generated over $38,000 in new annual revenue on top of an already thriving freelance business. The lesson: your client work is a paid education. Start selling what you've learned. But here in part 4, we go somewhere bigger. Because Riley didn't just find a gold mine, Riley redesigned the entire mine. Here's what's different about Riley's story. Riley looked forward and designed a business where value was built in from the very beginning. Riley called it compound repurposing, and the principle is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of creating work that serves one purpose at one moment in time, you design your creative process so that every single thing you produce serves multiple purposes simultaneously and keeps compounding in value long after the original project is delivered. One client project becomes a case study, becomes a blog post, becomes a podcast episode, becomes a course module, becomes a speaking topic, becomes a template, becomes a lead magnet, all feeding a product ecosystem that generates revenue around the clock. Not because Riley worked more, because Riley worked smarter. By the time we get to year 4, 60% of Riley's revenue is coming from scalable products and programs, not hourly client work. Location freedom, time freedom, and a business that grows stronger every single month. Here's what we're covering today. First, Riley's 4-level compound system, how one client project becomes an entire ecosystem of revenue opportunities. Second, the 3 core systems Riley built: content calendar integration, the documentation protocol, and the repurposing pipeline that makes it all sustainable. Third, the network effect, how compound repurposing builds authority, attracts better clients, and commands higher rates, creating an upward spiral that accelerates over time, and what the compound effect actually looks like when you commit to the system. Let's get into it. So, back to Riley. 3 years into a brand strategy practice, Riley was doing well by almost any measure. Consistent client work, solid rates, a reputation that brought in steady referrals. But there was a ceiling, and Riley could feel it. Every dollar of revenue required a direct exchange of time. Every new income goal meant more clients, more hours, more calendar blocks filled with deliverables. The math was simple, and the math was the problem. Then Riley had a conversation with another creative entrepreneur, someone who was working fewer hours than Riley, but generating nearly twice the revenue. And when Riley asked how, the answer reframed everything. I stopped treating my client work as the product. I started treating it as the raw material. Riley went home that night and drew a simple diagram. On one side, the old linear approach: create, deliver, archive, forget, start over. On the other side, something completely different: create, deliver, repurpose, amplify, leverage, compound, scale. Same starting point, completely different destination. Here's how Riley built the system. Smart repurposing isn't just about making more money from old work. It's about creating a business ecosystem where every piece of work amplifies every other piece. Riley was a brand strategist who had been working with small businesses for 3 years. Like most service providers, Riley treated each client project as a separate entity. But then Riley learned about compound repurposing, and it changed everything. Riley's compound repurposing discovery is this. Riley realized that the most successful creative entrepreneurs don't just repurpose work. They design their business so that every piece of content they create serves multiple purposes simultaneously. The old linear approach: create, deliver, archive, forget, start over. The new compound approach: create, deliver, repurpose, amplify, leverage, compound, scale. Every client project became the foundation for multiple derivative products. Example: logo design project for a coffee shop, direct deliverable; logo design, documentation, behind-the-scenes content for social media, case study material, portfolio piece and success story; educational content, how to design for food service, blog post, template development; coffee shop branding template for DIY market course material; logo design principles for service businesses. Riley turned every project into 8 pieces of marketing content. From one brand strategy project, Riley organized repurposed content into interconnected product lines: the strategy toolkit product line, free lead magnet, DIY brand strategy course, group program, premium product, VIP strategy intensive, ongoing revenue, monthly templates and resources. Each level fed into the next, and client work provided material for every level. Riley's repurposing strategy built compound authority. Each client project contributed to Riley's reputation, which attracted better clients, which provided better case studies, which built stronger authority, a continuous upward spiral. System 1, the content calendar integration. Riley planned client work around content needs. System 2, the documentation protocol. Every client project included systematic documentation, process photos and videos during work sessions, client interview recordings with permission, before-after transformation documentation, challenge and solution identification, results measurement and tracking. Riley created a systematic pipeline for turning client work into products. We're seeing the network effect here. One blog post led to guest posting opportunities, cross-platform growth, Instagram content drove YouTube subscribers, product cross-selling, course students bought templates and consulting referral amplification, thought leadership brought referrals from unexpected sources, industry recognition, consistent, valuable content led to award nominations. Here are Riley's compound repurposing rules. Rule 1. Every client project must contribute to at least 3 different revenue streams. Rule 2. Document everything during the process. Rule 3. Design content with multiple uses in mind from the beginning. Rule 4. Connect all products and content into an integrated ecosystem. Rule 5. Measure compound effects, not just individual product performance. The long-term transformation is that by year 4, Riley's business had completely transformed. From service provider to authority, speaking at major industry conferences, consulting for Fortune 500 companies, published author with industry recognition, course creator with thousands of students. From trading time for money to leveraged income, 60% of revenue from scalable products and programs, 40% from premium client work and consulting, multiple passive income streams, location and time freedom. What was Riley's key insight? I learned that the goal isn't just to repurpose old work. It's to design your business so that every hour you work serves multiple purposes. When you think in systems instead of projects, every client becomes an investment in your entire business ecosystem. The ultimate compound effect was that Riley discovered that smart repurposing creates exponential rather than linear growth. Each piece of repurposed content makes every other piece more valuable, creating a business that grows stronger and more profitable over time. The secret wasn't working harder. It was designing work that worked for you long after you finished it. Riley started with the same thing every creative entrepreneur has: a skill, a client, a deliverable, and a clock ticking toward the next project. But Riley made one decision that changed everything. The decision to stop treating client work as a transaction and start treating it as raw material. Raw material for courses, templates, case studies, content, speaking topics, and a product ecosystem that generated revenue around the clock without requiring Riley to be in the room. Year 1, $50,000. Solid, respectable, built entirely on trading time for money. Year 3, built on fewer clients, higher rates, and a compound system that made every hour of work serve 5 purposes at once. Not because Riley worked harder, because Riley designed work that worked back. And that is the through line of this entire series. Maya found the gold mine in her archive. Alex found it in the foundational layer beneath client deliverables. Sam found it in the invisible expertise accumulated project by project. And Riley found it in the architecture of the business itself, in the decision to design every project as a system, not a transaction. 4 creative entrepreneurs, 4 different disciplines, 4 different strategies, 1 unified truth. The work you've already done is worth far more than you've been paid for it. We've spent 4 episodes breaking down the what and the how. In our series finale, the conclusion episode, we bring it all home. We're talking about the action plan, the mindset shift, the one exercise that will show you exactly what's sitting in your own creative archive right now, and the single choice you can make this week to start turning your past work into your future income. This is the episode where everything becomes yours to use. Follow and come back for the series finale, and drop a comment right now of Maya, Alex, Sam, and Riley, whose story hit closest to home for you, because your answer might tell you exactly where your own gold mine is hiding. This is Empower Art, Time, and Money. The finale is next. Don't miss it.